Hi, my name is Lindsey Burns, and I want to tell you about John's miracle. John went blind after a chemical explosion at his work. He hasn't been able to see for 31 years. He hasn't even seen his own children's faces. Until an organ donor donated his cornea, which gave John the chance to see his children for the very first time. He says that he was very blessed to be given a second chance to see again. After hearing John's story, my view on being an organ donor has changed completely. I've always heard that being an organ donor is risky, because if an accident happened and you were fighting for your life in the hospital, that the doctors would let you die to save other patients. I was hesitant to commit to that. I have a husband and I would never want my life to be shortened on purpose. But then I did the research and found out that I'm not the only person that thinks that. There are other people that are scared of the very same thing. I'm here to tell you that this is a myth, and according to Medline Plus, becoming an organ donor will save and help almost 50 people. It is important for everyone to hear my speech, because I want to put a stop to the myths that cause people to not become organ donors, and let them see how becoming an organ donor can save many lives. Today I want to persuade each of you to become an organ donor by hearing about the growing need for transplants, learning about being an organ donor and how it will affect you, and finally, how to become an organ donor. Let's move on to my first point. My first major point is that there is a shortage of organ donors in the United States, and the need for transplants is growing. According to the Mayo Clinic, more than 101,000 people are awaiting today for transplant surgeries. This list increases by 300 people a month. The Mayo Clinic also says that approximately each day there's 77 transplant surgeries that happen. But also there's 19 people that die a day because there's a shortage of organs. Doctors are at a crossroads. They have the staff to do thousands of transplant surgeries. But the people's lives are in the hands of other people, of organ donors. And right now there just are not a very lot of people that want to be organ donors. Let's move on to my second major point. My second major point is that people are hesitant to become organ donors because they do not know very much about the topic. According to Women's Health, organ transplantation is the surgical removal of organs or tissues and placing it in another person. If you're an organ donor, your kidney, your heart, your liver, your lung, your pancreas, intestines, your cornea, your ear, your skin, heart valves, bone, veins, cartilage, tendons, ligaments, stem cells, your blood, and blood platelets can all be donated to help people. Many people feel that they're too old or too young to be an organ donor. But according to Women's Health, there is no age limit on becoming a donor. It ranges from newborns to senior citizens. Although if you are younger than 18, a guardian must also consent that it's okay for you to be a donor. Many people are hesitant because they're worried that their religion will not allow them to donate. Women's Health says to talk to your church, your synagogue, or your religious organization before making your decision, because many religions do support organ donation. They see it as a charitable act of love and giving. Another reason that people are hesitant to be organ donors is that they feel that their family will have to pay the cost for them to be an organ donor. But actually, the transplant recipient's healthcare provider will take care of all of the costs, so your family will not have to worry. A big fear of many people is that if you're an organ donor and you get hurt, that the doctors will try and not save your life. Honestly, that was my biggest fear. But this is not true, and according to Women's Health, the transplant team is a completely different staff of doctors from the medical team that will be trying to save your life. The transplant team doesn't even get involved until after all efforts to save your life have failed. And the last major concern that I'm going to talk about is that many people feel their bodies will not be, they'll be disfigured for the funeral. But again, this is not true. According to Women's Health, the surgery is done in a way that the operation will not change the appearance of your body, and your family can still have an open casket service. And let's move on to our third main point. According to Mayo Clinic, becoming an organ donor is easy, and that's my third point, how to become an organ donor. It's easy. You can designate yourself by taking one of the three actions. First, you can register with the state's donor registry. You can sign and carry a uniform donor card or indicate on your driver's license application that you want to be a donor. Again, if you're younger than 18, you have to have a parent's consent that it's okay for you to donate your organs. So, in conclusion, now that you know the desperate need for organ donors, that there's no risk to become one, and how to designate yourself to be an organ donor, let's spread the awareness and talk to our friends and family. The more organ donors we have, the more lives we can save. When I die, I want the satisfaction of knowing that I didn't die for nothing. I'm going to give one last gift to the world before I leave. I'm also going to give life to 50 other people, and I want to help people like John see their children for the first time. Instead of my organs and tissue being unused in the ground, I want to recycle myself and give other people a second chance at life. Recycle yourself and become an organ donor. And help 50 people have a second chance at life.